Hi, Brad Curry, Professor of Engineering Technologies at Richland Community College in Decatur, Illinois. I am often sitting there trying to think of ways that I can bring about some relevance or help my students understand some of the concepts and topics that I discuss in the classroom. And it just so happens this week my wife purchased a brand new espresso machine to help her make some espresso shots, and it got me thinking, especially because right now I'm teaching a class called Industrial Materials, and we are talking about the different processes of how we get steel. Now, if you are familiar, of course, we extract iron ore, so I'm right now kind of going to use the espresso machine and our coffee grounds to kind of talk about how steel is actually made and how we use that in terms of what we refer to as powder metallurgy. So we of course dig up, I've got my coffee beans here, they represent the iron ore that we're digging up out of the ground. Of course that iron ore has to go through a process called beneficiation, and we grind that up, so we pulverize that. We get it to real fine powder type material. That iron, when it comes out like this, gives us what is referred to as taconite. We run magnets over it to pull that out, and we are getting the iron that's in there. Now, in powdered metallurgy, so we take into the process of powders. Notice I got some different types of powders. Now, of course, these are just everyday household spices. But all of these are ground up into powder too. So just to kind of give you an idea of how powdered metallurgy works, we take different types of elements. So we might have some cobalt, we might have some magnesium. Of course, we've got the iron in there. We have different elements that go into that mix. And then of course, the manufacturer who's making that processes that up and stirs it all together. Now, when we get into the powdered metallurgy, they take that mix and of course they drop it into a ladle, and then of course they compress that. So, and it gets kind of pressed into form. Now, in addition to the press, just like what I'm doing right now for the coffee, so there would be other binders that would go into it. Now, this, in the case of our espresso, water gets kind of filtered through that. That acts as a binder to kind of push that in. And we get what is known as a green puck. So I'm not sure if this will work. I didn't filter any of the water through. But notice that comes out like a green puck. From there, that green puck would go into a oven and be centered, a process called sintering, where we would heat that up, and that heating or that centering process then fuses all of the components at the elements at the molecular level and gives us a nice, solid, very dense material, and that's what we refer to as as powdered metallurgy. And that's what we're talking about this week and what we're learning about in my industrial materials class. So if you haven't checked out community colleges lately, make sure you do. There's a lot of great things that are occurring at the community college level here in Illinois.